My roommate has been secretly seasoning my food for months, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. I found out yesterday that my roommate has been quietly fixing my cooking for the better part of a year, and I'm honestly more embarrassed than angry. He's one of those people who can throw together dinner without measuring anything. Meanwhile, I need a recipe open on my phone just to make grilled cheese without getting nervous. A few months ago, I started noticing that my food was actually getting pretty good. Pasta had more flavor, burgers weren't dry anymore, and even the frozen fries somehow tasted better. I figured I was finally getting the hang of cooking. Apparently, I was giving myself way too much credit. I got home early from work yesterday and walked into the kitchen while my dinner was still on a stove. My roommate was standing there sprinkling paprika into the pan like it was the most normal thing in the world. He looked at me, looked at the pan, and just said, "Well, this is awkward." After laughing for about 30 seconds, he admitted he'd been doing this for months. Every time I stepped away to grab a drink, turn the door, or go to the bathroom, he'd walk over and add whatever. My food was missing because he couldn't stand watching me cook. According to him, the first time he did it was when I made chili and somehow forgot salt. Not it needed a little more salt, but completely forgot it existed. He said he'd hoped I'd notice the difference and start seasoning things properly on my own. But instead I just kept telling people I was finally becoming a decent cook. He has a folder called Flavor Crimes, and it's full of little updates like, the funniest part is that he actually kept notes on his phone. Chicken rescued, pasta beyond saving, and too much cumin. Even I couldn't fix that one. I was laughing until he mentioned that every compliment I'd gotten about my cooking happened on nights when he'd secretly intervened. Today he wasn't home, so I made lunch by myself for the first time since finding all this out. I tasted it, stared at the plate for a solid minute, and finally understood why he'd taken matters into his own hands. It wasn't inedible or anything, but it definitely explained why he'd been carrying garlic powder around the apartment, like it was emergency medical equipment. At this point, I'm debating whether I should be offended that he never told me or grateful that he apparently cared enough to prevent me from serving bland food to other people, accidentally having a... Either way, I've accepted that my biggest cooking achievement this year was roommate who refused to let me embarrass myself.